out, Big Steve.
Shout out Michael Bisping. All right, UFC Houston. We're looking at the odds top to bottom. Not as much tape. We'll have a final podcast later in the week, and we're trying to bet it. We're trying to make some money. Did we make money last week? Yes, we did. $300 on the UFC. Actually, $200, but $1,300 on LFA and PFL and the regional section and boxing, but not enough. Not enough. I'm still down like 3-point-something K, but we're ticking it off. Let's go through the quick little recap, like usual in early teas, just for the UFC, and then we're going to get into the early odds for UFC Strickland versus Fluffy. I'm locked in. I'm expecting minimum 2K next week. We have KSW, we have UFC, but let's get into it, right? So I went into this UFC with only 3 pre-bets, right? It was Bruno Brazil, $2.30. It was Daniil Dachenko, Alex Morono under 1.5 rounds. And I added Jacobe Viklaj versus Mine Guffer under 2.5 rounds at plus money. And I only felt confident pre-slate on the Jacobe and the Guffer of under. Right, so it wasn't the best card for betting, in my opinion. It was very tough. And the whole slog up to down, from the beginning of the card till the end of the card, had me on a roller coaster, right? So let's get into it, right? So the first fight, Claudia Segula, Priscilla Cachoeira. I said you can play this 2 ways. If you like Claudia, over 2.5 rounds of pick'em, she's not finishing Priscilla Cachoeira. She has no power. Her wrestling sucks. But if you like Priscilla, she might get a knockout because Claudia is quite hittable. She's not that great. It's a step down in competition. And, Priscilla kept it quite competitive, but still lost to 30-27. Props to Claudia. She struck for 15 minutes and won that fight. And she ate a lot of shots. And she looked like she was stumbled a couple of times. So I don't really have regrets of anything, because if I knew that Claudia was going to be hit that many times, I definitely would have played Priscilla KO. I actually played Priscilla Cachoeira scorecards, no action, and pick 'em. So if she won by knockout, I would have won my bet. But when he went to decision, I got my money back. So, yeah, no regret passing there, but I think I called that right. The over 2.5 was the play. Jacob Viklaj. So I said I had this under 2.5 rounds. Early in the week, I passed on it because I could just see, Gafurov maybe hurting him, dropping him, maybe wrestling. I don't think Gafurov's submission defense is as bad as people think. Obviously, he got submitted by Saeed with the instant guillotine. But if you watch him grapple, he seems very good at defending chokes. He's very physical, very strong. He puts his neck in things, but he gets out. So I'm like, this could be very tilting. Viklaj does have a lot of decisions. If he doesn't get his guillotine, it can go over, especially when both guys gas. But I just felt like I have to. I was really leaning Mayan Gafurov via KO. So I'm like, with all the being in my body, I tried not to bet Mayan Gafurov because I know how stupid he was, and everyone was on him. I felt like it was a bit of a mush play. So I'm like, let me just go with the under. I feel like Gafurov can knock him out. Jacob Viklaj has been dropped a lot of times, knocked out a bunch. And then I'm like, right before the fight started, I'm like, let me just play the doesn't go. Like, I feel like this is the only bet I'm confident on. I need to put a unit on there, not just half unit. And I just ended up going with the doesn't go instead of under 2.5 rounds because I'm like, the guillotine, I think Gafurov KO is going to be 1 and 2, but I feel like the guillotine could happen at any moment, even like last 2 minutes. And go figure, man, I was tilted. Like, Jacob hurts him to the body. Then he goes for a guillotine, gets the rear naked choke. I'm like, I knew it. I knew he had good submission defense. But why is Gafurov not knocking him out? Why is he not dropping him? But yeah, real pick and back and forth fight. Gafurov won round 1, early bit of round 1, then lost second half or the other way around. Then round 2, Viklaj beat his ass, and then round 3, Gafurov was beating his ass until he put his head in a guillotine and lost the whole fight. So good pass on the line, on the money line, and yeah, very lucky to hit the doesn't go with 1 second to go. So instead of losing a unit, I only lost like $80. I lost $80 because I lost my 2.5, but one that doesn't go. All right, Kong Wang. I said initially Mora had some value, but then upon retape, I'm like, Kong Wang, man, it would be hard for her to lose this one. And I don't really have anything. But what I did, I put like $30 on Eduardo Mora after round 2, but after round 1. But after round 2, I'm like, man, Cody Wang was $1.70, and I didn't lie better. It's like, you got to know that Eduardo Mora is going to lose round 3. She's losing round 3 in almost every single fight. And I messed up. I did lie bet like $1,000 on Cody Wang just to win $200. But yeah, that should have been like a big bet after round 2. But I'm betting a little bit scared, So that's the period I'm in right now. Jared Bashar, Gianni Vasquez. I thought Vasquez had some value, but I didn't bet it. This is my second bet. Bruno Brazil. I was initially really confident I was going to make it a full unit, but I made it half unit. Basically, I thought Bruno Brazil. People are underrating her. They're attacking her. She's very negative. But I'm like, Caitlin Souza is not that great, and at minus money, like she gets hurt to the body, she gets hurt to the legs, and then first round, Bruna Brazil did what I thought she would do. She's the one that got the takedown. She hurt it to the body with the knees, and then rounds 2 and 3, she just cucked. She cucked. She did nothing. And yeah, I did actually live bet Caitlin Souza. I went not much. I only put like 150 to win 160. It was pick'em. I really should have gone bigger, but she easily could have lost round 3 as well. So now I'm just thinking, man, this card is so hard, With 1 second to go, I break even on the Jacobe Viklas fight, and then I'm losing a bit of money on Nora, and then I put a $1,000 bet on Wang to win it back, barely. I get my money back on Priscilla, no scorecards, and then I'm about to lose a half unit on Bruno Brazil, and then I hedge a little bit, but I'm still down like $300, right? And then comes Nikolai Veritenico versus Nico Price, and I said on the early pod, I'm like, if you're gonna play Nikolai, man, it's going to be round 1 KO. After that, this fight becomes a shit show. He's going to gas. Nico Price is going to make it grimy. And I'm looking at it. It's $4. Nikolai, round 1 KO, $4 plus 300. And I'm hovering around it. And I don't click it. And then when he kills him, I become so tilted. Because $200, not even half a unit, I was going to put on to win 600. I would have been in profit by half a unit. After, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fights where I'm trying to squeeze that profit. And the one bet that's like the killer bet, I pass on it. And it's like, I'm so tilted. And I'm like, Danilo versus Morono under 1.5 rounds is coming up. And that's a full $600 unit play. And I wasn't confident on the under because, I don't think really Danilo has the biggest power. And Morono usually slows down 2 and 3. And I thought maybe it will happen late in rounds 2, 3. So I'm like, I'm about to be even more tilted. So this fight comes up. I put $150 on Danilo round 2 to hedge myself. I just had a feeling that if he's not going to do it, it's probably going to be late round 2. And there's a chance that I could still cash early round 2, hit both bets with $100. And Danilo almost knocks him out round 1. Yep. The most tilting way to lose that bet. And then it just goes all the way to decision. So instead of losing 600, I lose 750 because I lost my round 2 hedge as well. So now I'm down $1,000. And I'm like, how? And this is what happens to me when I'm on a bad streak, From hitting Nikolai and being up $300 to passing, and now I'm somehow $1,000 down, and it's like how did that happen? That's quick turns, right? But I'm like, you know what? I'm so over this shit. I was very negative, but I'm like, let me just smash out the main card. I have no bets on the main card. Let me smash it, and then I'll give up. So Dustin Jacobe goes up to $1.70, and I'm like, you know what? This line movement is crazy. It makes no sense. I put a unit on Dustin Jacobe, 600 to win, 450. He does it. Beautiful. I drop my 1K loss to half. Then I parlay Farid Basharat with Koji Hiraguchi. 700 and something to win, 500, almost a unit. Super square bet. I thought it'd be very close. Super square. Farid Basharat gets a split. We get away with one, boys. I'm like, we're still in it. And I thought Koji. I was a lot more confident on Koji, honestly. But yeah. Michel Zenchuk versus MAB. I said on the show, MAB is live, man. It's an easier fight than Shara Bullet, right? Michel, it doesn't have the best decision equity. He can be hurt. He can be hurt to the body. I don't really like the under 1.5 rounds. I thought Michel round 1 KO. It was a bit shit. I thought MAB's chin is underrated. And yeah, he went over. And then I live bet. I put like $200 on MAB. So in round 3, I thought he was winning the first half of round 3. It's unfortunate he lost it, but it is what it is. And then Kuniev, Jailton Almeida. I did nothing here. I was leaning Kuniev, but I just wanted to see how is round 1 going to go because he's been taken down before in his losses, and Jailton Almeida can take everyone down. Once Kuniev stuffed that first takedown, I was like, man, unload. So I ended up with, I think, almost $800 live to win 463. So at this point, I'm like, hell yeah. I went big, and I'm down like $200 or something, $300, and I've got Koji to put me in profit for the first time of the card. All right, so I'm like, good stuff. I was very negative at 1K down, and no bets, and then the main card got me through. Let's go through the comments and then we'll go back to it. Shout out MMA Guy. Shout out Big C. MMA Guy, very sharp dude. Finally upped his units. Go follow him on Twitter. Nathan. Shout out Nathan NYC. Kurt Kotowski. If you're not in the Discord, get pissed on. Yes. If you're not in the Big Brain MMA Discord, even when I'm down, like currently, people in the Discord are killing it. So, Breaking Bad. What's up, Big Steve? What's up, Breaking Bad? What's up, player? Get in, lads. Get in, Breaking Bad. Good guy when it comes to boxing, all right? All right. Koji Higuchi, rinses. We're up. We're up $200. And then, obviously, Mario Batista, Vinicius Oliveira. A lot of money on Vinicius Oliveira. I really should have pivoted like I did with Jacobe. I ended up playing nothing. That obviously Vinicius Oliveira was injured, but that was the one. Like he really had the finishing upside, and that's pretty much it. From the grand scheme of things, Mario with his cardio and IQ, I overlooked that one. I got carried away by the really big line on Vinicius Oliveira, and I thought this is going to be more competitive than that. And then when the line shifted, I should have pivoted, but. Oh, well, props to people that played Mario, despite, Oliveira being injured and whatnot. Easy money for you guys. So 200 up, 1,300 for the weekend. We're rolling. Now, this card right here, Strickland versus Fluffy, early tease. I've done a bunch of tape on this card, obviously, because we had a week break. And no bets as of yet, but I was very negative about it. But now I'm thinking there's going to be some spots here, and I'm making minimum 2 units on this card. All right, Carli Judice versus Juliana Pena. So last time I played Carli Judice, $1.40 versus the Italian chick, and people were telling me, man, oh, how can you play it? There's no grappling footage. She might get wrestled. The Italian chick is more physical. I'm like, lads, do you know who you're talking to? Calm down. All right, there's value. I would say Carli had value. She beat the piss out of her for 3 rounds, knocked her out. But now we're getting $1.20 against Juliana Miller, and I think Juliana Miller, despite her 4-3 record, is better than Nicole Cagliari. All right, honestly, in my humble opinion, her wrestling does suck, and she is just as hittable. But she's kind of, when she gets you down, she has better jiu-jitsu. She can get you back. She's dangerous. She gets body triangles. So if she can somehow muscle her way to Carli Judice's back, who has great get-ups and uses a great whizzer, I'll be sweating. I wasn't sweating in the other matchup, but I'll be sweating here. But ultimately, Miller's very hittable. She probably dies. Let me see if we have some props. I know we have totals. And the under 2.5 rounds is getting smashed. I think that's mostly just Carli Judice KO. Yeah, I mean, under 2.5 rounds, yeah. I'll see if Carli Judice KO is better. I wouldn't even play Carli Judice rounds 2 or 3 KO because she can knock out people in round 1, and Miller's been knocked out in round 1. Just her striking defense is dreadful. So, yeah, I'll have to find out how to play it when props open up. Yadier Del Valle versus Jordan Leavitt. I mean, these 2 fights are it's the parlay piece, right? Yadier Del Valle and Carli Judice. I can't say I disagree. Obviously, I will say Yadier can be taken down, despite what we saw in the Arzak Bulgarian fight. Still haven't got my money for that fight because apparently it's under investigation. I don't think I ever will. But yeah, I mean, I think there's a big testosterone edge here for Yadier. He's just going to, at some point, run through Jordan Leavitt. Jordan Leavitt is actually an underrated grappler, underrated wrestler, and he probably can take down Yadier Deville if Yadier is too focused on guillotines and not stuffing takedowns. I think he's just improved, man. I think he's at 29. He's leveled up from his Fury tape. He's a lot more aggressive. He's a lot more savage. He's got power. I think he could even guillotine Jordan Leavitt, even though Jordan Leavitt is a submission guy. He got ran through by Paddy and by Chase Hooper. So how good is his jiu-jitsu really? Like, it's good, but it's not, he's not unsubmittable. He was a purple belt last time I checked. Maybe he's a brown belt by now. So yeah, I think Yadier Deville, at some point, rounds 2, round 3, he's either going to knock him out when Jordan Leavitt gasses or he's just going to submit him. I like the under 1.5 rounds at first. It was plus money. It's taken a bit of action. 220 now. It was 120. What's this? Are these totals? No. So, yeah. Don't know if I want to parlay him, but I'll find ways to play his props. Alrighty. Phil Rowe versus Jean-Paul Lebosnoyani. Debut of JPL. -200. Look, this kid has dropped the ball before in LFA. He got knocked out by, what's his name? Jacobe Jones, of all people, which is pathetic. And I haven't really, he also got knocked out by Spike Carlisle. I haven't really been able to forgive him for that. He's had some good comebacks. Keegan Genrich, good win. Genrich, I played the under there, plus money, was beautiful. Genrich gets hurt a lot, so it was always going to end that way. And he won against the bum on Contender Series, but minus 200 against Phil Rowe, a guy that's really tall. He's going to keep him on the outside. Jim Paul's a bit hittable. It's interesting. I'm not really interested in minus 200 John Paul, although what stuck out was the under 2.5 rounds here. Wow, it's taking so much action. It was plus money a couple of days ago. I really should be getting on these lines, eh? They're kind of moving. I spent way too much time on Octo and 1FC and made no money. But yeah, that's where we're at. I'm liking the under 2.5. I mean, Phil Rowe, it hasn't really been finished via KO in a long time. But Jake Matthews, he can be KO'd. He's got chin issues. We just haven't seen it. So he got dropped by Angelusa. He got dropped by Nico Price. He can be taken down easy. Yeah, I think I like the under here, but it's trending towards minus money, so I need to do more evaluation. The issue is if John Paul just sticks and moves because he loves to stay on the outside, plays a little karate game. All right, Ramiz Brahimaj Punahele Soriano. The guy that I hate Punahele Soriano's fights because when I bet him, he loses in embarrassing fashion. When I fade him, he wins when no one expects him to. And also, he's knocked out two of my Serbian fighters, Medic and Olmay Dushko. So I hate him. I hate everything about him. He's also a bit of an idiot. But in this one, Brahimaj from plus money to minus money, the public is on him. Punahele is a dog. Is this the fight that he's going to win again when people least expect him to win? I get why people on Ramiz, Punas can be knocked out, can be submitted. He's been submitted by Dustin Stolfitz of all people, got knocked out by Roman Kapilov. Almost got guillotined by Nikolai Vertanikov, who went for the 17th guillotine in a row in round 3, and Puna still almost fell for it. So I think Brahimaj has a path here. Now he's knocking people out as well as submitting him. Guillotine choke. I mean, it makes too much sense, right? It makes too much sense. I would rather just play an under of some sort. Now, this under is 2.5 rounds, which is interesting. Brahimaj's fights have been set at 1.5 rounds, which that's what makes sense here. So I might just have to hit this 2.5 rounds and don't even overthink it. The only issue is Puna hasn't really been finishing people. He knocked out Uroš Medic, who's chinny. Miguel Baeza, chinny, couldn't knock him out. Nikolai Vertanikov couldn't finish him. I feel like it's really a Ramiz money line. Who's he knocked out? Literally Dalcha, and that's it. Dushko. Ramiz is quite durable. Literally never been finished outside of his ear exploding. So yeah, I'd rather play the under 2.5 rounds, honestly. Like trusting either Ramiz at chalk or Puna, it's rough. It's rough. Puna, I should say, he grapples when he should strike, and he strikes when he should grapple. So he's shooting straight into a guillotine here. MMA guy, Brahimaj wins via Puna IQ. Yep, that could definitely be it. What's the alternative under 1.5? Like, why can I put a smaller stake on 1.5 rounds? Don't have it yet. That's cool. We'll check later. Let me just check my pinnacle. Let me just check my pinnacle. Do we have totals on pin? That's all right. I'll do it later. Alrighty. Aiden Coria versus Louis Gurule. Now, this is a Fury FC fight. Both guys are from Fury FC. And yeah, I think this is massive recency bias. Aiden Coria is not as good as his line. Let's just tell you how it is, right? 11-3. He's knocked out Alessandro Costa. We were all on that. It was a beautiful dog shot. I was on the under 2.5 rounds. Everyone in the Discord, it made perfect sense, right? But you watch his other fights. He lost to Alberto Trujillo only 1 year ago. Trujillo is like a smaller version of Luis Gurule, with no power. And, he's just got a bunch of losses before that as well. So Yeah, he's probably improving. He's 27 years of age. Louis Gurule is on a 2-fight losing streak, so the bookies and the public is not high on him. He can be hurt. He's been hurt by Jacob Silva. Pretty sure he got knocked out by Oda Osbourne. He got hurt by his Aguilar. But yeah, I mean, from a pure betting perspective, man, it's Louis Gurule or pass. That's all it is. That's simple. I'm gonna tape it in depth and see if I play it and what my stake is going to be on it. But yeah, it's a no-brainer, man. It's Louis Gurule or pass. Right? He's got power. He can hurt Coria. Obviously, he can be hurt himself. But if he doesn't get knocked out, if he goes to decision, are you confident in Alden Coria at $1.30? Crazy. Alrighty, let's move on. I see I skipped Nora Cornolle versus Joselyne Edwards. What am I going to say there? I mean, Joselyne Edwards basically beat it the first time. Got a split decision. Nora Cornolle is now 36 years of age. This is now in America. It's not. I'm pretty sure the first one was in France, right? Of course. And yeah, they're rematching. And yeah, Nora's 36 now, and Joselyne Edwards is still 30, and she's streaking. She's knocking out Zombie Girl. She's getting submissions. So I think this time around, she might be able to finish her. Although Nora is pretty tough. Let me have a look. It's tough to trust. It's tough to trust Joselyne Edwards to finish anyone, but under 2.5 rounds, big plus money. I mean, 3 finishes in a row. Tamaris Vidal, Chelsea Chandler, Priscilla Cachoeira. Man, I'm surprised people are not parlaying her. I'm surprised people are not parlaying Joselyne Edwards. Alrighty, let's not waste too much time on that fight. Ode Osbourne versus Alibi Idiris. Now, this fight is off. I actually liked Ode Osbourne, and the money's coming in on him, even though it's off. Idiris is out. I don't know. Have they found the replacement for Ode? But yeah, I like the 2.5 rounds under a plus money, and I liked Ode Osbourne on plus money. I don't think Idiris is all that, honestly. He's just a wild Kazakhstani man, but he's got a lot of holes in his game. Sup, Glimbo? All right, Chidi Njokuani versus Carlos Leal. A lot of money on Chidi, man. Obviously, I assume my good mate Lucrative is on that because he talked about it and the line is steamed. Yeah, at this point, I would rather pivot on Carlos Leal, although he's not really the most trustworthy guy. You know, he fought a big guy in Sadabusi twice and kept grappling when he should have struck, and you know he's losing splits to Renat. He just got knocked out for the first time in his career brutally. Has that chin been cracked? But look, the longer this fight goes, you know, Carlos coming forward, pressuring. You know, Chidi has notoriously bad grappling, 37 years of age. Just got ran through by Jake Matthews easily. And he's still at welterweight, man. He's still at welterweight. He cuts a shitload of weight at welterweight. Yeah, weird fight. What's the under? The under is 1.5 rounds. It's a bit of a tough click. It's a tough click because it's chalky as, and yeah, Leal generally very durable, and Leal generally comes forward, pressures, but if he doesn't, will he get the knockout? If he's more patient after being sparked, yeah, it's a tough one. I got to tape it after the line movement. All right, Zachary, Reese, Michel, Pereira. I take this one a bit, and I mean honestly, Zachary, Reese are dog money. Pereira just looks like he's not interested, man. He's not interested. The one thing that made him great, you come out, be aggressive, throw teeps to the body, swamp guys. He's just not doing it anymore. He's not doing it. Alibi isn't out. Are you sure? Are you sure he's not out? I swear I saw days ago that he pulled out. Anyway, let me verify, and I'll get back to you guys. Let me just verify 1 second. Yeah, he's out. Alibi Idiris is out. Italo Sena, MMA featherweight champion, 6-0, steps in to replace the Kazakhstani fighter. Am I wrong? All right. Sources from the Discord. 2 days ago. Alrighty. Yeah, I mean, whatever made Michel so special, he doesn't really do it, right? If he fought like that, he could definitely run through Zachary Reese. But, against Bus Magomedov, not interested, right? And Bus, Chini, Gassy, he could have ran through him. Instead, Michel Pereira got hurt in that one. And then we saw Carl Dorcas knock him out with the first strike he landed. I played the under there. And, of course, it was actually Carl Dorcas that cashed the under. So, yeah, he doesn't have his durability like he used to. He doesn't have the aggression. I don't know what's wrong with the guy. So, at minus money, people are still shitting on Zachary Reese. But he's the younger guy, and he seems to be less washed. He almost got knocked out by Jackson McVeigh, so I can understand the concern. But really, he went to decision against Dushko, showed that he's got some fight in him. He can win a decision. Obviously, much better win than Jose Medina, but he is chinny. It's a messy fight, man. I think both these guys' chins are gone now. Zachary Reese, what's the under 1.5 rounds? It's pick 'em. Pick 'em. Khalid Sabah, just today he posted 1 week out on Instagram. Yeah, maybe that's a fake news. I see it was posted by Renato Money Acriano. So maybe a scam account on Twitter. Alrighty, let's move on. But yeah, this is a messy fight. I mean, if you're going to play anything, play the under 1.5. But Zachary Reese, he's not knocking out Dushko. He's not knocking out Medina. He barely got Jackson McVeigh out of there with his submission game. So I don't know. I don't know if he's got the power to knock out Pereira, but it's a weird one. All right, Jacobe Smith versus Josiah Harrell. This is an interesting one. Jacobe Smith, all systems go early, and then he just gasses out. He's a very green fighter, elite wrestler, good boxing, but he's very green. So this Josiah Harrell guy, he just won as a massive underdog versus this fraud Russian guy. I wish I played him. But yeah, he can be taken down. He can be cracked. Might be a live bet fight, honestly, but I think he's live. Because Jacobe Smith hasn't beat anyone good, honestly. He hasn't beat anyone good. So Josiah Harrell might swamp him late, in my honest opinion, if he doesn't get knocked out. Alrighty. Feels like an easy Pereira round 1 at this price. Don't overthink it. Bro, I mean, there's been 3 Pereira fights, and he wasn't even interested in getting a round 1 KO. You know what I mean? I'm not going to bet. I lost money on him on the under 1.5 rounds in the Magomed fight, and then I won it against Dorcas, but I also lost money on the under in the Fluffy fight. He hurt Fluffy, but he didn't follow up, so I don't think the guy has the killer instinct anymore. So I ain't donating unless I think Zach can get him out of there. All right, so Serghei Spivac versus Ante Delia. Delia is another popular play. It's trending towards minus 200. Now I get it. It's cool to fade Serghei Spivac, even though he almost beat Waldo Acosta. All right, the guy got knocked out on the feet by Jailton Almeida. I get it. I fully understand it, but he's not a bad fighter. And I know Ante Delia well. I know him from PFL, from before PFL, and the guy he's got a lot of red flags on his record, right? If the fight extends, he's a bad decision fighter. He's obviously very aggressive. He doesn't have the best IQ. He shoots on his knees from far out. And basically, the only thing I can see behind laying the chalk is that he's very aggressive and he has power. And maybe he can swamp Spivac early, like he did to Marcin Tybura. But from then on out, it's like Spivac is improving as well. Spivac is what, 31? He's in his prime, man. He's improving. He looked quite good versus Acosta. Like his striking looked great. So, but Spivac, he's pulled out twice. Yeah, I mean, it's a dog or pass. Like, I don't really have the balls to play Ante at this price. Under 1.5 rounds. Yeah. Pick him. It feels like accurate. I don't really have a strong lean. It could be a mess. All right. Dan Ige versus Melquizael Costa. Dog or pass. Costa minus 200. What are you going to do? I don't really like Dan Ige, but the man has value as a dog. It's plain and simple as that. Yeah, Costa's going to stay on the outside and kick him. But Barboza did the same thing, right? Philly tried to do the same thing. Leon Murphy tried to do the same thing, and he beat most of them. Sean Woodson knocked out Sean Woodson, right? First guy to finally beat Sean Woodson in the UFC after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fights, but not the first. Sorry, Juliana Rosa did it. But yeah, it's just He's a good underdog. So that's simple as that, right? I'm going to see whether I want to play him or not because it's a tough click, right? Dan Ige it is a tough click, and Malky is durable. So he is durable. He'll stick and move, but he slowed down against Juliana Rosa. He slowed down against Christian Rodriguez. Feely, he got taken down. He's easy to take down. Yeah, it's a dogger pass. It's a dogger pass, but like always, Ego's a tough click. I'll have to reevaluate, do some tape. All right, Jeff Neal versus Uroš Medic. Yeah, I mean, this is a shootout. This is a shootout. I thought I would love the under 1.5 rounds. Let me just have a look. It's pretty steamed, like close to minus 200. It's tough for me. It's tough. Despite loving 1.5 rounds and being really good at betting him, like I bet the last one, Uroš versus Salikov, but that was like an extremely chinny guy, and Uroš had a massive speed advantage, and also Uroš is chinny too, and I guess that makes sense here as well. But Jeff Neal is generally really durable, really durable. Like, yeah, he got knocked out by Carlos Prates, but that was a beautiful knockout. And yeah, he's durable, and he likes to skirt on the outside. He's very fast. And you know, Uroš not as durable, but you know, will Jeff Neal commit to try and knock him out in rounds 1 and 2, or will he just play the striking game because he is very fast himself? But at the same time, Uroš had dropped by Urbina. He's knocking out these very chinny guys, you know, Salikov and Urbina and Tim Means, very easy to run through. Went over against Omar, went over against Matthew Semmelsberger. So yeah, I think Jeff Neal is around those kind of guys, maybe even more durable than those kind of guys. So, maybe I'm overthinking it, but yeah, I'm not really interested. Like at worst, minus 200, maybe we have some value. I'll see what fight ends in KO is. It's probably going to be incredibly juiced, but we'll see. Do more tape. And at the main event, Sean Strickland versus Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. This is a great fight. We're finally going to see if Anthony Hernandez is as good as people that are glazing him say he is, right? Anthony Hernandez really doesn't have any good wins. Who's his best win? Right? Brendan Allen. How competitive back and forth with Brendan Allen that if Brendan Allen made 1 or 2 less mistakes, he would be winning. He would be the winner of that fight right now. Right? And we wouldn't be talking about Fluffy anymore. Other than that, Roman Kapilov, Edmund Shabazian, MAB, Josh Friend, Rodolfo, Park, like solid wins, but from a ranking perspective, in the ranking, he's only beat Brendan Allen and Roman Dolidze. Right? Roman Dolidze, whatever, people hate on him. So, like, we'll see. Can he beat someone like Sean Strickland, who's an ex-champion, right? Who can actually stuff takedowns, who, in my opinion, is a better grappler than Fluffy. He just never uses it. He just uses it in reverse. He's got cardio. He's got durability. He's got no quit in him. He's fought how many fights, how many 5-rounders back to back to back? He beat Nasruddin Imamov off the couch on extreme short notice, right? So, and he's fought a bunch of grapplers over and over again. He fought Brendan Allen. Jotko tried to grapple him. He shut down Jack Hermanson for 5 rounds. Abus took him down a bit, then he knocked him out. Dricus took him down a bit. He kept getting up. There was a split. And then the second time, he just got outstruck. So, yeah, this one's an interesting fight. I don't know if I want to lock in Sean because, you know, he's old. He's, 34 now? Like, I think he wins round 1, maybe round 2. But what happens if Fluffy keeps coming? Like we saw recently, Fluffy, he fought the smartest he's ever fought against Roman Dolidze. He actually struck with Roman Dolidze. He wasn't just shooting takedowns. I think he really didn't want to get involved in Roman Dolidze's jiu-jitsu game. So he just struck with him and took him down and got up, outstruck him, gassed him out. So what's he going to do against Sean Strickland? Is he going to strike against Sean Strickland? And what happens when Sean Strickland just keeps tipping him to the gut, you know, landing? Yeah, it's an interesting fight. I personally like the over here. I like the over here. It's minus money. It makes sense. I don't think Fluffy is the best finisher. I'm just thinking who will ruin this over. If anyone ruins this over, it's probably going to be Sean. He's probably going to knock out Fluffy because Fluffy has been stopped a bunch. He's been hurt a bunch too to the body. Got hurt with the first heap kick by Pereira to the body. He got hurt by Brendan Allen a couple of times. Got hurt by Roman Kapilov to the body. Edmund Shabazian. He could be hurt. Kevin Holland ran through him. Marcus Perez knocked him out, submitted him. So, yeah, that's where we're at. It's a really interesting fight. I'm excited to do more tape. people are already max betting Hernandez and, blah, 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 whatever. You do you. But I have a good read on him. I have a good read on Strickland, so I'm just going to stick to my read. If anything, I'll lie bet. I like the over, man. I like the over. That's all right. Shady. Shout out Big Steve. Caught you live, brother. On the way to emergency call. Banking 70 hours. Man, sorry I couldn't give you some good regionals, Shady. I see you did well in Octagon. I was grinding and I wasn't locked in. But we're doing well next week. All right. Carli, Judice, she should win by knockout. Del Valle, he should win by finish. JPL, I think someone's getting finished in this fight. Most likely Rowe. I think he's on his way out. Ramiz Brahimaj, I think this fight's going to end by finish. Most likely Ramiz Brahimaj. Shady, he likes the Hawaiians. Oh, no, please. Not the Hawaiians, man. Who's the Hawaiian? Soriano? Is Coria Hawaiian? Danige? Oh, yeah, Hawaiians, bro. Good luck to you. Joselyne Edwards, I think she might get a finish this time around. I like Gurule, has to have some value. Oda Osbourne, if this fight is still on, it's Oda Osbourne or pass, maybe the unders. Carlos Leal, Chidi. Interesting fight that the line's closed in. I have to look into it. Zachary Reese, I think I'd rather just play the under 1.5 rounds. Jarrell Smith, play the under, or Harrell has some value. Spivac, the Leal, mess of a fight. Danige, Dogo pass, easy. Urosh Neal, interesting. Neal at minus 200, man, I don't know. Urosh can knock out anyone, but ends in KO. And Sean Strickland Fluffy, I like the over here. I like the over. Hopefully no one gets knocked out. Yeah. I think Sean is just incredibly tough. All right, thank you very much. We have some odds for KSW, but I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to get back to grinding, and I'm going to make my cash. Jump in the Discord. Hit me up on Twitter if you want the bets for KSW before the event. But peace out.